welcome back to Quilting Beauty and Books, my corner of YouTube. I pray that you and your family are all doing well today and that you enjoy today's video. It's that time of the month, guys. It is time to wrap up the month of October. I want to share with you a couple of things that I've done this month, that month, because it is November currently now. I wanted to share a couple things with you that I did in the month of October. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video, shall we? Let's start with makeup. You guys know I love my eyeshadow. If you want to know what I do with the rest of my face, what I put on the rest of my face, go ahead and leave that for me in the comments below, and I will get you that information. So again, start with makeup. As you already know, I use two palettes from Juvia's Place. This one is called the Mini Masquerade. I love this palette. I'm just going to let you know that I am a big fan of her palettes because you get a lot of punch. When I say that, that means pigmentation, especially for my dark complexion. You get a lot of pigmentation for the price. You can put these eyeshadows up against some high dollar eyeshadows and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, two colors were, I'm not going to say they were problematic, but I'm going to say that they stained my eyelids for a couple of days. And that is this color right here, and it's called Bentu. And it wasn't a problem, you know, just wash your face. You just had to wash it more than, you know, a couple of times. And this color is called Zobo. The pigmentation was hecka real. Hecka real. So I just wanted to let you guys know about these two palettes. I did thoroughly enjoy. I did also, I'm gonna set this down. I did also go through my NARS, what is it called? Smudge proof eyeshadow base. I did like this eyeshadow base. I didn't love it. I hurry up and, you know, used it up. And I can honestly say I will not be repurchasing it. I do love my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And I do know that NYX had a white crayon that I like even more. So I will stick with those two, I think, and until I find something that I love more for a base. Now, I do like MAC paint pots too, but not more than I love those other two, the Too Faced Insurance and the NYX white pencil. Okay, that's it for makeup. Let's go ahead and I get my handy dandy calendar out. This month was hard, and I probably, well, not probably, but I know I mentioned it in one of my last videos that I hit a reading slump, and it was like 2 weeks. You know, I got too many books to be hitting a reading slump for that long. I can see a couple of days, but not for weeks. So I didn't get to read all the books that I wanted to read. I will let you guys know about that in a hot second. But going through my calendar here, the first thing I did was my Beloved Society 2019 scripture writing. I used blue for the month of October. I should have used pink for breast awareness, but I didn't do that. Didn't think of it at that time. But yes, I enjoyed this month's scripture writing. Again, I'll be following it for the month of November and December as well. So this was my layout for the month of October. You got a cute one for the month of November. I can go ahead and show that to you. So I got to get that one ready and cut out. I'm behind because we got things going on here at the house. But I'll be caught up this weekend. The next thing I did was I followed along with Kim Cash Tate. We completed the book of John, her Bible study. I will go ahead and link her channel up here. Go ahead and look through those videos and cling to God. That was an amazing series. You know, I got to know John more. I got to know a little bit more about the other disciples. Peter, he was hilarious. And you know, can't help but love John because he was like, he don't refer to himself as I in the book. He referred to himself, the one whom Jesus loved. You know, I found it kind of, you know, comical and hilarious, but I mean, I love going through that study, and it just turned me up how, you know, his telling of The part of Jesus's death, the crucifixion and stuff like that, that tore me up. I generally don't like that part of the Bible anyway, because how evil people are, and I think of how evil people are today, and how I can see that happening. I have a hard time believing that happened back then, but I see it could happen today. So I got a lot out of the book of John. I can't wait to see what she comes up with next for Bible study. I read a book called Soul Friends a couple of months ago, and it had questions at the end of each chapter. This is the book. It's by Dr. Leslie Parrott. What I did was I didn't get a chance to answer those questions. So this month I concentrated on answering all of the questions that were in this book. And I really enjoyed the questions. They got in deep. They made you think, not just like about today or current situations. It made you think back in your past, and hopefully how you will deal with certain situations today or when they happen in the future. So this was a really, really good book. I also wanted to share with you, I did the Sister in Pearl's chronological Bible study. Originally, I was going to do the daily guidepost as my devotion, but because it was taking me longer to do this study, I used this as devotion time instead of the daily guidepost. Now let's get into the books, shall we? This October, I wanted to dedicate this whole month to books series that I have started and didn't get a chance to complete. Now, I had a lot of books slated for the month of October. Then I hit a reading slump and I didn't get to finish all of the books. So I'm going to start with the 3 books that I did not get a chance to read. The first one is by Bodie and Brock Theone, and it is Take This Cup, and it is in the Jerusalem Chronicles series. The next one is by Angela Hunt, and it was the book Esther, Royal Beauty, and this was in the Dangerous Beauty series. And the last book is by Melanie Dickerson, and it's The Captive Maiden, and it is in the Hangerheim series. So these 3 books I didn't get a chance to read. However, it's not a saying that I won't read them. It's just that I'm not going to be reading them before the end of the year, because I have a whole different set of books that I want to read for the month of November and definitely in the month of December. Now, the following books I did read. I enjoyed every single one of them, and I am not good at trying to tell you without having it written down how I felt about these books. So this time, when I tell you about these books, I'm only going to do like a 3 to 5 minute review of these books. And I have it written down, so you will see me referring to my notes, because I want to make sure I'm telling you guys the correct information. Okay, the first book up is called Sing, and it is How Worship Transform Your Life, Family, and Church, and it is by Keith and Kristyn Getty. Love this book. And I wrote, this book is about congregational singing, how singing is actually a form of prayer. Something that we shouldn't be just doing without any or much thought, or something that you just ignore or want to rush through. Each song is built of lyrics, and how the lyrics should be factual and scripturally based. Songs have a way of carrying you through difficult times, especially the ones that proclaim the promises of God and the hand of God. I can think of 3 songs that when I think or hear them, I feel my soul engaging. And that is Tyler Perry's Jehovah Jireh, and it's sung by Chandra Corelli. Change Me by Tamla Mann, and Speak the Name a song by Corin Hawthorne with Natalie Grant. I love that version. They sung it together on the Dove Awards. And that was the Book of Sing. You guys can time me on these reviews if you want to. I just wanted to make sure that I said the things exactly how I felt when I read the books, but if I didn't write it out, I know I would miss it if I tried to remember it when I did the video. The next book is Until the Mountain Fall, and this is book number 3 in the Cities of Refuge, and it is by Connilyn Cossette. And I wrote, this book was good. The last couple of chapters made me think for sure that of the prodigal son in the Bible. I can say that I love book number 1 more. Here in this book, we're dealing with Malachi, who is the son of Mariah and Derek from book number 1, and Rivka. Rivka was actually betrothed to Malachi's brother. They married, and he passed away. And he was supposed to, the covenant marriage? Like when your husband died, and if you got any brothers, you're supposed to marry one of their brothers to continue the family name kind of thing. That was the kind of situation that she was in. But she wanted nothing to do with that, and she felt that he was pompous and he was too young to be, married. He wouldn't take her serious. He wouldn't love her. She worked as a scribe, and that is just someone who, what it is taking notes. She took notes for her father. And she ended up meeting another young woman, and they end up running away and finding some life-changing realities. Well, Malachi was heartbroken because of it, and so was her father. But her sister, she wasn't accepting any of the, the sadness in the morning and stuff that they were doing. She was like, no, she don't deserve it. Well, her father wanted Malachi to go find her because he had gotten word that she was still alive. Well, he went out hunting for her and the girl that ran away. Ravi from the first book came back. He was still a jerk. Just saying. But we did see a heart change in him, and his life changed. Wink. Some truths are revealed, along with forgiveness, persistence, and pushing aside pride and fighting through disabilities. And I can relate with the fighting through disabilities, because first it's woe is me, and then it's I can't do this because of my disabilities, and then you have to realize that as long as you're in this life, that you're either going to have to work through life with the disabilities, or you're going to remain stuck and not do anything, because in your mind you can't do it because of the disabilities. So, and that is what Malachi felt, and he came to conclusion of what he wanted to do. So that was that for that book. And the next book was Murder in the City of Liberty, and it's a Van Buren and DeLuca mystery, and this is by Rachelle McMillan. I like this book more than I liked book number 1, because book number 1 there was a lot of character building. This one, their characters are already established, and we can see their growth, and their quirks still remain, and that they were still holding on to their feelings for one another. But that did come to a head in this book. The book also dealt with race and bigotry issues and war, and how people chose the sides. The book was based on 1940s, so back then, race relations were real tight. So I love Hamish and Reggie. Hamish still had his anxieties. Reggie knew she picked up on signs, and she can give him a touch, or a certain touch, and bring his heart rate down. Or she knew how to excuse him so he can go seclude himself. until the anxiety passed. Their togetherness and her being engaged still, and their friend Nate are entangled into a mystery that brings their cousin Luca back from hiding. And Reggie's finding out her friends are not who she thought they would be because of the life that they, the life that they come from. So it was hard for her to understand that with her friends. So that was that for those books. I have 2 more books I want to tell you guys about. The first one is a buddy read that I did with my sis Nay. I'm linking her channel right here, and I might also link her reading vlog that she did, but if you go to her channel you will see it. And that is the book A Royal Family, and it's in the series The Lion and Butterfly by Linda Fergeson. This book was heavy in grief and death. Our main character, Jerusha, has dealt with many miscarriages and the death of people that she loved very much. She learns the true meaning of surrendering it all to God. How when we surrender, things are not always tulips and roses. Things seem to somehow always get worse before they get better. Is because we tend to think that we've done our part just by giving it to God, when actually we probably didn't give it all. But you gave some of it, just the pieces you think that God can handle. And she learned that when she was only surrendering pieces she only learned that she was surrendering pieces at a time. Her losses was not because she didn't surrender. So when I'm saying that, I don't want you to think that just because things happen in your life or things that were happening in her life, because you didn't give it all to God, that doesn't mean bad things are not going to happen. God's purpose and will be done in our lives. Her faith began to soar when she realized the true meaning of surrender and what God wanted her to do. A new character was introduced, and I am longing to see how he becomes a part of her story. So that is the book A Royal Family. And the last book we're currently reading, again with Daughter of Increase, is their book club book, and it's the book that we'll be reading for, I think, into the end of the year. And it is Redeeming Love by my girl Francine Rivers. I am loving this book. This book is about the prophet Hosea and his wife Gomer. But in this book, his name is Prophet Michael Hosea, and his wife, well, in the Bible is Gomer, but here her name starts off with Sarah, then it goes to Angel, then it goes to Mara. He named her so many names, but at this point in time, he had already given her 3 names. And I am there for it. I am loving this story. I can't wait to share my final thoughts on this story with you guys. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video thus far. Go ahead and like and share the video if you like. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I will leave a link for all the items that I mentioned in the description box. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click the post notification bell so you will be notified of my next upload. Until the next video, guys, be blessed. Bye.